Hello, Mr. Novak here with another installment of a request from a student to look at a couple of questions. So this is exercise 5I, and I'm looking at questions 2 and 4 today. So if looking at question 2, we have, as you can see, the four basic relationships that we looked at in this chapter. This current topic is focusing on 3 out of the 4, and the previous one, of course, the quadratic. So, if looking at the first question, describe the relationship. Basically, what it's saying is that it wants you to investigate and by looking at each of these functions, whether it's a circle or a hyperbola or a quadratic slash parabola, and finally the exponential, which we're all very familiar with at the moment, seeing you have the coronavirus. So that's what part A is asking you. Each of those are based on a specific basic graph. So remember, the basic graph for circle is x squared plus y squared equals r squared. The hyperbola, which is the y equals 1 over x, or remember, is because the power is the power of -1. The quadratic, of course, was y equals x squared, and the exponential was y equals a base to the power x, where the x actual fact is a index. So that's part A and B. Part C of this, identify the transformation has been taken place. Well, that's obviously, they're asking you, do you recognize reflection, dilation, and translation? And for each one of those, you need to do an identification, write the rule. So I'll just do the first one, which is the hardest of all, and you recognize that that is a hyperbola, which is from the family of y equals 1 of x, but with the different transformation, it'll be plus or minus depending on the reflection, the dilation, which is a over x, plus or minus h, which is the left or right, and plus or minus k. Remember with this, the asymptote, so here we have an asymptote with y equals -3, which is of course relates to y equals k. So we know k is equal to -3. The vertical line, sorry, is x equals -1, which relates to left or right. So x equals, sorry, h equals, got to think opposite. So h will end up being +1. Remember the brackets, we have to think of the null factor or the opposite. The other feature is because it's in the first and third quadrant, it is a positive, so no reflection. And finally, the A is the tough one. What is A equal to? So remember, normally when A is equal to 1, we have, I don't know what happens. Let's find out. So let's substitute what we do know. So we know y equals positive a over x plus 1 minus 3. And all we need to now do is consider one point. So for instance, we have a point there which has the coordinates when x equals 1, y equals 0. So we just simply substitute sub a point on the line or curve function. So we're going to substitute in this case 1 comma 0. So that's 0 equals a over 1 plus 1 minus 3. Take the 3 across, we end up with 3 equals a over 2. Multiply both sides by 2, and we end up with a is equal to 6. So in a nutshell, we end up with y equals 6 over x plus 1 minus 3, and use your calculator to confirm that. All right, and the second question they asked me is the question 4. By the way, you can always pause this if you want to look at something at length. So the amount of time it takes to move a distance of 100 meters depends on the average speed of travel. Write a relationship between time in seconds, the average speed in meters per second. And of course, we know from kinematics that we had the good old triangle SVT. Okay, so if we want to know what T is equal to, T is equal to S on V, and because S stands for distance, and we're focusing only on always the same 100 meters, we end up with T equals 100 over V. And you're right, it therefore means it's inversely proportional to the velocity. In other words, T, as you'll learn in lots of subjects, including physics, we could write this to T is proportional instead of the equal sign. Get rid of the dilation factor 1 over V. So T is inversely proportional to the inverse. So T is proportional to the inverse of V. So what type of graph this is, of course, you recognize that as y is equal, so y is equal to 100 over x, because remember, time depends on your velocity. So time is dependent, y-axis, and velocity is the independent x-axis. And you should now recognize that as the exponential. We now recognize it as an exponential, which have a basically an asymptote because there's no left or right, up or down. We just simply have this shape here. We have, there you go. No, start again. Remember exponential, which is, and of course, that's not exponential. I was right. It was a hyperbola. Pause. Stop. This goes to show you practice. So hyperbola. Remember, 1 over x. So in actual fact, we have two asymptotes, y equals 0 and x equals 0. So we'll have it into two quadrants. So of course, we can't have negative time. So practical example, we only have the first quadrant. And as you say, when v is 1, v is 1, so that's your v and that's your t. 100 divided by 1 is 100. So the velocity time is 100. And so there is your graph, because remember it has a dilation of 100. Interpret the graph to describe how the amount of time changes when the speed is increased. So if we make the speed 10, the time will become 100 divided by 10 is 10. So as you can see, if that was to become 100, the time will be 1 second. So it's inversely proportional. 100 becomes 1, 10 becomes 10, 1 becomes 100. So each time it's a factor of, or the product of 100. So hopefully that helps you. Have a good day.